So what's in a threshold? So here is our statistically formed data-based injury risk curve. These green data points are non-failure points at a specific load with a specific tissue. These are failure points. And as you can see, they overlap, which you might expect because there's so high variability. This particular specimen had much less strength than this one. But taken as a whole, when we're going to apply this to a general populace, we create this injury risk curve and we say, look, 50% is where we're going to assume the failure takes place or the failure does not take place. And we call that threshold. So here we've got our probability of risk fracture, which is what the question is asking. It's 60% or more. And so here's our 60% level on our y-axis. And we can just track that over to our function that describes the injury risk and go down. So it should be somewhere around 1700, right? Let's find out. About 1900. That's how that's performed. Easy peasy, right? Let's look at another example. How likely are you to have a risk injury if subjected to a load of 1,000 newtons? Well, here's 1,000 newtons here. Go up to our injury risk function, go over, and I'm guessing about, 1.5, 15%, something like that. Okay, 14%, I was close. But it's just that easy. And so now if you've seen this injury, or if you can pull from statements or testing that this is in fact the load that occurred in that interaction, you know that there's a 14% chance of that injury occurring, which is very low. So if you see the injury, something's off, right? There's an argument here that if you see the injury, but the statement doesn't make sense and I can measure that, then there's an argument to say, hey, somebody's lying here or we've got something wrong and we might want to revisit the case materials.